City take home the title. We've got a quick Premier League review. The Bundesliga goes down to the final day as Ajax are on the verge of eredivise glory. We've got a roundup of all the day's transfer rumours, and of course, we look back on your Friday feels. Now more coming up in the next few minutes as I am your host, Matt Froelich. You're with the OneFootballers, and this is the Daily News. But before we get into today's Daily News, a quick reminder of the latest release on the OneFootball app, where there's a special twist for this weekend. In the upcoming final day of the La Liga season, our customers in the UK and Ireland, together with 11 Sports, can watch a La Liga matchday conference with every single match for just 99p. There is no subscription required, and you will be charged through the Play Store or the iTunes Store, and all you have to do is go onto any matchday card in La Liga, click buy now, and you'll be taken straight to the La Liga conference for the final day of the season. But with that said and done, let's get straight back into the Daily News. So first off, into the Premier League title, where a rather underwhelming finish to the season saw both Liverpool and Manchester City win their matches, meaning that Pep Guardiola's team regained the title. It's the first time in a decade that a team has managed to win the Premier League title back-to-back, when Manchester United did it 3 times in a row for 2007, 2008 and 2009. This does mean that Manchester City have taken 198 points in the past 2 seasons, which is just utterly ridiculous. You can't say they didn't deserve to win the title again. As for Liverpool, well, they've got the unfortunate statistic that in the last 11 years, only 3 times has the title not been won by the team that was top on Christmas Day. All 3 times, that's been Liverpool. Unfortunately for them, it just looks like they can't hold on to the lead in the second half of the season, and they'll be looking back at those draws, especially away at Everton, as the turning point in them not winning the league. Manchester City ended the season with 14 wins in a row. Elsewhere in the Premier League on the final day, while the Champions League spots were all decided, with Chelsea finishing in 3rd and Spurs' point at home seeing them into 4th position. Arsenal and Manchester United take the Europa League spots, but Arsenal can find themselves playing Champions League football next season if they manage to win the Europa League in a few weeks' time. Elsewhere, there were big victories for Newcastle, for Crystal Palace and for West Ham, as the rest of the table sorted itself out, with Wolves being crowned the best of the rest by finishing in 7th position. As for Man United, well, an embarrassing 2-0 loss really put to an end the season that all of them will want to forget, especially as it was home to Cardiff, who have just been relegated. So next up, we come to a quick review of the Premier League season, and this is where I want you guys to get involved by letting me know all of your thoughts to the following questions in the comments section below. So first off, we're going to go for the team of the season, and that's got to be Manchester City for me. 98 points is an incredible haul, and they've managed to not only win the title, but win it back-to-back, so they're definitely my team of the season. Player of the season, I'm just giving it to Raheem Sterling. Now, Virgil van Dijk and Eden Hazard were both in with a shout. However, Sterling's the one who's taken home the Premier League title, so for me, it's got to go to him. Manager of the season, I'm going to give to Nuno Espirito Santo, the Wolves manager. He's managed to take them up from the Championship and now into 7th position in the Premier League. This is the highest finish of a promoted side and the most amount of points for a promoted side, and Wolves' best ever finish in the Premier League. I would also give a massive shout out to Chris Hughton at Brighton. However, in the last few minutes, I've just found out that he's been sacked. He's taken them up to the Premier League and made them survive in back-to-back seasons by edging them just away from the relegation zone. All of this on a limited budget with a rather small club. I think it's a fantastic job, and it's kind of harsh that he's been sacked. Next up is the biggest disappointment of the season, and for me, that's both West Ham and Fulham. Both clubs spent in and around 100 million last summer and had rather disappointing seasons. Fulham went straight back to the Championship without much of a whimper, and as for West Ham, well, 10th position isn't so great, especially when they smashed their transfer record a few times last summer. And lastly but not least, we come to our biggest surprise of the season, and for me, it's James Maddison at Leicester. Now, we all knew he was a great player because of what he did in the Championship with Norwich last season, but he's taken his game to the next level this season. Maddison has taken so well to the Premier League as he helped Leicester finish in 9th with a hatful of goals and assists, and he also created 100 chances in the Premier League this season. That's more than any other player in the league, so it's no wonder that a few Champions League teams are looking at his signature. But next up and over to the Bundesliga, where it's going to go down to the final day of the season. This is because reigning champions Bayern Munich could only muster a 0-0 draw away at Leipzig, and if you couple that with the fact that Dortmund beat Fortuna Düsseldorf 3-2, it means that the last day of the season, Bayern are 2 points ahead, and all they need is a point. However, for those of you who didn't watch the Champions League last week, well, anything can happen in football, so don't rule out Dortmund winning a first title in 6 years. And mentioning the Champions League last week, it obviously was a disappointing week for Ajax, who crashed out at the semi-final stage. However, they've just about managed to do the domestic double. Last weekend, they won the Dutch Cup, and this weekend, they now find themselves 3 points clear after a 4-1 win over Utrecht. It means they go into the final game of the season 3 points clear, as I just mentioned, and with a goal difference of 14 goals over second place PSV, meaning the title is all but theirs. Over the weekend, we also saw a farewell, or certainly a home farewell, to Feyenoord striker Robin van Persie, who played his last game in front of his home crowd before retiring. His final game is, of course, next weekend. Now on to the day's transfer news, and as all the leagues come to a close, you can expect the transfer news to be firing up all summer. First off, Zinedine Zidane said that Gareth Bale's future at the club is clear by dropping him over the weekend and not even having him in the matchday squad as they lost to Real Sociedad. It looks like Gareth Bale's future is definitely away from the Bernabeu. Elsewhere, Juventus are interested in taking Manchester United's Alexis Sanchez. West Ham boss Manuel Pellegrini has said that he can't really hope to hold on to midfielder Declan Rice if some of the big clubs come calling, and Arsenal are interested in Real Madrid's Marcus Llorente. So lastly but not least, we come to a roundup of your Friday feels. This is where all of you guys left your footballing predictions in Friday's daily news, and now just a few of you get your name mentioned for getting something correct. Now, I will say, as always, to those of you who did get it correct but don't get a shout out, sorry, but we can't read all of them out. However, congratulations for getting it right in the first place. First off, we've got Felix, who said that Rangers win in the Old Firm derby, which they did. A fantastic win for Steven Gerrard's men, 2-0 over arch rival Celtic. Elsewhere, and Antoine L said that Aubameyang will score twice in the second half against Burnley, which he did as Arsenal ran out 3-1 winners. And lastly but not least, Hyperactive Football guessed that Leicester and Chelsea would draw 0-0 on the final day, which they did. It's not very often you get a 0-0 score correct. To all of you, as I said, who got their Friday feels correct, well done. Especially all of you that predicted that Manchester City would take home the title. There were a lot of people predicting that Man City would slip up and Liverpool win the title, but really, honestly, City have been unbelievable of late, and there was no way that they weren't going to win. So there you have it for today's daily news and for the Premier League season. Of course, let me know all your thoughts down below, and let me know your review of the Premier League season and everything else you thought of today's daily news. Whilst you're down there, you can smash the like button and click here or here to check out all of the other videos that we've got going on OneFootball. But until next time, I will see you guys later.